Welcome back to the Gears Esports Offseason, presented live by Mixer and This Week in Esports. Last week we premiered, we'll get to him in a hot mo. Last week we premiered this series with episodes 1 and 2, which followed the pro player playtest at the Coalition in Vancouver and dove into the ups and downs of Season 1 of the Gears Pro Circuit. Now this week, this guy to my left, your right, is a very special guest, a co-host of sorts, from the Gears community. Please welcome Veli!
Phil! Hey, thanks, Kate. I'm really excited to be here. I love it.
Dude, it shows, and I love that. This is exciting stuff for all of us. So, obviously, you tuned in for last week's episode 1 and 2. You got to see our chats with the players, and you also got to talk about it on the podcast you currently inhabit. That would be The Flank. Plug. You should tune in because it's awesome, and it's fun. Just do it. Tell me what your main takeaways were from that first 2 episodes.
It was amazing. I think the content was beautiful. It's what Gears of War needs, you know. Gears of War, we were able to dig into these players. Yeah. You know, they're human. We got to see what they went throughout these team changes. It was very informative. I loved it. I was entertained.
Right. Excellent. Us too. And it sounds like you guys were as well. Well, you're here with us, but we are not alone, and I'm not just talking about the thousands of people that are in the studio right now. He was supposed to be on the show last week, but Skype issues got in the way, so we thought, let's see what he has to say about episodes 1 and 2 this week. Please welcome Ribs to the show.
Ribs!
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Hey, beautiful.
Nothing. Oh, there's so much love. Sorry, as I get my microphone caught on my hair. There's so much love that you bring to the Gears scene, by the way. You and Ribs are just having a good old time. I love it. Do you want to? I don't know if you want to start in on having seen 1 and 2. What did you think?
It's amazing. Honestly, when we were filming in Vancouver, we didn't really know where everything was going to go, where the content was going to go. We even asked them, they're like, we can't tell you that right now. And it's pretty exciting to see it was part of like a reality web series. No one really knew that was going to happen. So it came out well. It's entertaining, and you know, it's real. That's really how the Gears players are. That's how we talk, and none of it's staged, none of it's scripted. So that's always a good thing to see.
And let me jump in here because I know Veli's got some questions here in a sec. But if you don't know you, if you're coming in fresh to the Gears scene, who are you? What do you do? What do you bring to the esports giant?
Go ahead and feel yourself for a little bit. Feel free.
All right, sure. So my name is Jordan Ribeiro, a.k.a. J Ribs. I currently play for Team Ghost Gaming, which if you watch Season 1, they placed 3rd place 3 times. So they were pretty much the runner-up after us, who was the runner-up behind Optic. And my career is a long one. I've been playing competitively for 9 years. I started in 2008. Gears of War 2 was my first competitive game, even though I played Gears of War 1 for fun. I won my first MLG event, which was my first event ever to go to. It was 2009 Meadowlands. I was a 2-time champion in Gears of War 2, 2-time champion in Gears of War 3, and that was with Team Legacy and Team Infinity. And then most of you guys know about me in Gears of War 4 playing with Team Envious throughout all of Season 1 with not one roster change. We were the only team that were able to do that throughout the whole season.
Oh, yes. Now, Ribs, I mean, let's be honest. You were my favorite player in Gears 2, man. You're a legend, okay? But as you spoke about you being on Ghost Gaming, okay? So you were replaced from Envy. No, the number 2 team in the game. You're on Ghost, a team with crazy potential. How do you feel about that?
Well, honestly, being dropped isn't the greatest thing. It's something that I never did in my whole career. I should have said that in my intro. I've never been dropped from a team until recently. And I've seen a lot of players that they get dropped and they don't really end up on a team that they'd like to be on. You know, it's not always up to you as a free agent where you get to play. That's one of the uncertainties that come with getting dropped. But I'd like to say I was fortunate enough to end up on a team that is a championship caliber team. Obviously, we have a lot of stuff we need to work on, but no one could doubt us and say that we don't have what it takes to take out Optic and Team Echo Fox and any other team that gets thrown our way.
Actually, that is a good question. Speaking of Season 2, you made some pretty bold statements there. What can fans expect? I mean, like, what are you looking to do? And is it just to have that nice bullseye on Optic, or is there, or how are you feeling about Season 2 coming into it?
Well, I think Season 2, you know, Optic was hands down the most dominant team in Season 1. But right now, with the fact that they have to play with a sub, and then after the first event, we don't know if they're going to stay with that sub or go back to Icy. They might not be as dominant. They still have some of the best players in the game, undoubtedly. But I'd like to say that my team will be able to take multiple championships in Season 2, and Echo Fox will probably say the same thing, so Optic has to watch their back.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Okay.
I was going to say, do you want to...
So, Ribs, last question. All right, you're playing with Sleepy Time, Reshies, Speedy. When you see yourself going against your previous team, how's that going to turn out?
Oh, we plan on running over them, man. Like, the thing is they have a great in-game leader and franchise, and they have great strategy, and all their players are way above par. But at the same time, we have such individual skill. And if we just, get our teamwork and our chemistry up a little bit, we'll be one of those teams that you just can't keep up with. Just simply, you lose rounds, you don't even know what happened. You just know that you died, the round's over, and now it's another round. And that's the type of team we're going to be, just full octane, aggressive, and try to be smart at the same time.
Wow, those are words to live by in the esports community. Oh, well, a huge thank you, Ribs, so much for coming in and talking to us and giving some more insight into the community and your chances next season. We were really excited to see you guys play.
Good luck, baby.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Okay, so last week I introduced the 2 episodes. This week it would be only fair for you to introduce episode 3. What can we expect, do you think?
I'm flattered. As someone who's been following the Gears Esports community since the beginning, I'm really always curious about what teams do when they aren't at events. This episode is all about the players on Optic, United, and Echo Fox. Whew. What they have been doing since Season 1 ended, how they've been moving forward from Season 1 issues, and what we can start to look forward to for Season 2.
Okay, so for me, I'm always curious what people are doing outside those LAN tournaments, outside of, grinding. And it's really interesting to see the guys behind the gamer tag, basically. So I'm personally excited for that. Oh. And that's part of the reason I love this series. You're seeing all the storylines that make you really care about these matches.
It's so intense. It's beautiful. No, but definitely, the Gears Esports community has always been known as a close, tight-knit group. We're family.
Yeah.
We're family. It's usually hard to show that to the fans who don't already know the players, but I think this episode provides us with a rare insider view of what their team dynamics are like out the game.
And we are going to hear even more about the players today because after the episode, we are actually talking to Ashes from Team Optic and Kyle from Echo Fox.
I love Kyle. I have a lot of questions for them.
You know what? I'm excited. I'm a little scared, but not really because it'll be fun. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into episode 3. And remember that during the show, we'll be choosing the top fan question from the chat. And that fan will win a prize pack with Gears and Mixer swag. So don't forget to post those questions you have for Ashes and Kyle and the entire esports community all up. So without further ado,
episode 3.
Right now, we're out in LA, kind of showing what we're doing to prepare for Season 2.
Our team is very childish.
We out of the van. I'm jumping.
I'm fat, and I was like, that's unhealthy.
Yo, let me get something. Ryan!
Bro, don't get me started.
Okay, don't get me started.
We've all known each other for quite a while now.
I think one of the things that makes our team so good is the fact that we have a real friendship.
When we're at our full potential, I don't think there's a group of 5 other individuals that you can bring together that would actually be able to beat us.
I've been on Optic for nearly a year now, probably about 10 months.
I've been on Optic for about 9 months, so close to about a year now.
We've been on Optic since August of 2016, so we're nearing a year with them.
When I joined the team, I really just contacted Mental, and they accepted me to be their manager.
Getting drafted into Optic was like a dream come true. I'm pretty sure that if you ask my teammates that, they would say the exact same thing.
But not only the fan base and the sponsors are great, the benefits of being on Optic are the environment that Optic brings with Hector, Jay, and all the other guys. They're looked at as like celebrities in the gaming industry. They treat us like other human beings and equals to us.
We have a lot of team chemistry. We haven't really made any roster changes aside from Lava, I guess, which was needed.
We have Mental, the best player in the game, that can clutch up whenever. Then you have Kenny, who's he's like the brains of the team, pretty much. Me personally, I play the 1v1 spots for the home hills. And then you have Icy, who's really good with any power weapon he touches, especially the M-bar.
I think team bonding works for some teams not, just because they don't really all like each other as much, but us as a team, we're really close friends, so it helps a lot. I think it shows in our gameplay too.
this is my dream roster. It's like if you ran a simulation of 100 matches, I still think we'd win.
We know that if somebody on our team has something that they're really passionate about saying and really, strongly opinionated about, it deserves to be considered. We value each other's opinions. And when you have that kind of friendship, when you have that kind of bond, it's a lot easier to trust in the people around you when you're fighting that fight and you know that somebody's going to have your back if you ask for it.
Look at this water. Hello?
We're at the Venice Canals.
Oh.
It's honestly beautiful here.
This is the canal?
Like imagine you just wake up and like you go out in your backyard and this is what you see.
The current E United, to be honest, is really in shambles. The roster that they had in Vegas was honestly one of the more talented rosters we've seen in Gears of War, period. So the fact that I think they got 12th place was really just a disappointment.
When we were playing a demo and God plays, I kind of didn't want to get on the scrim sometimes. Wasn't as confident in myself as a player. But now with this roster, I feel like I have 4 solid, good teammates that have my back no matter what. And if I'm down, they'll pick me up. And when I'm up, when I'm on point, they're helping me to be the player I know I am.
The roster changes we made came a lot with me, Icy, and Demo. I feel like Icy and Demo wanted to get rid of Kyle and Rodney. I also didn't want to lose my spot on the team because I was just kind of going with the flow. So I just kind of was like, all right, whatever, we'll drop them for Excels and Soto. As I predicted, when Excels joined the team, we were good for an event, and then after that event, we had to drop him because the team was just getting out of hand. And at the same time we dropped him, Icy also, before that, Icy went to Optic, so we took Lava, we had to drop Excels, we picked up God Plays, which we thought was a really good fit, but then we lost a lot of leadership. So our team was just a very raw, skilled team, but we kind of had no direction. So on paper, our team was solid, but in game, we kind of were lost, as a unit. So the names were great, but we just didn't mesh well as a team. After we went to Paris, our team kind of got split in two, and he was the middleman. Demo and God Plays wanted to drop him after Paris, and I didn't want to drop him, and so it was kind of Demo and God Plays, me and Lava, and then just here's Zerp. Just caught in the middle between an internal feud within our roster.
I talk with my gameplay.
Right? You should see the things he does to people. We literally laugh when we watch him play.
Oh yeah. If he gets a 3-piece, we start laughing. How do you do that?
What the fuck is this video of, Zerp?
Oh, that's me chunking rushes.
Ask him for a Skype then.
And
You're literally a freak. Zerpting is just an overall great slayer. Did you see this?
No. Wait, is this on plat? Nah, that's the type of shit.
How do you even move your character that fast?
So I get a chunk on that guy, and then I chunk the next guy.
One.
I'm not done.
I love Zerping as a teammate. I always call him one of my favorite teammates of all time.
Oh my god.
It's the alternate,
Yeah. Gotta stay on that.
You're weird, yo. I think his best quality is his raw skill and his mentality. You can tell him what to do, and he'll be all right. He's no buts.
Tommy, who's gonna win this game? Me, right?
It's looking like Zerp.
Yeah. That also goes with being a great teammate. He's a really good teammate.
Woo! It's over!
GG.
Bye!
So now I feel I'm slowly getting to that point with this new team, with each and every one of my teammates. And I'm already at that point with Tommy and Zerp. Now it's just Wildy and Soda.
Season 2 is going to be a war. It's going to be Cavaliers versus Golden State. I picture our team more like Spurs. If Spurs had Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook or LeBron, if Spurs had more superstars, I feel we'd be the Spurs, because we play a smart system. They're really methodical and they pass the ball. They don't really shoot a lot of 3-pointers. They like ball movement and getting easy buckets in the paint, right under the basket. They don't really do what Golden State does and shoot half-court shots like Curry and stuff. So I feel we're more like the Spurs if they had a little bit more superstars to add in what Golden State does. It's just, there's one thing, and that's minimizing clutches from Optic. That's all it is. It's Golden State when they play. They got Curry, they got Kevin Durant, they got everybody on that team. So you got to control them. You know, like Golden State is not the smartest team in basketball, but they're the most talented. And that's kind of what Optic is. They're like Golden State. They're not the smartest, but they're the most talented. And I feel like if you watch like basketball, you would understand that season 2 is going to be a war.
Our team is very childish, so we like to do child things.
I can't breathe, but I'm good. Kenny, I think you need a bigger one, because you got a pretty big head.
You don't think this is big enough?
I can't breathe?
I could beatbox.
Yeah. All right, Alex, beatbox for us.
Yes, I can, bro. Listen. Ready? Wait. I forgot. Hold on. Let me.
I forgot.
Yeah.
How to beatbox.
I can do it. Ready?
Bro, stop.
Let's go, Kenny.
My teammate.
Watch out, little boy.
What? You can't point my gun up. Mental is a very competitive person. He's very quiet, and he's known in the community as the pro who shows no emotion, because he could kill 4 people on the other team and single-handedly win a round, and he's still sitting there. What is E United going to be doing this week? I don't know.
We're on the right path.
What's a legit mountain? That's hiking.
This is sick. It's time for that burrito. In Venice, I did a lot of eating. I'll try one of those. I don't think anybody in the Gears community can eat faster than me.
Wait, what?
I said, I don't think anybody in the Gears community eats faster than me.
You could be a speed eater, bro.
The older you get, the more you appreciate different parts of life, including food, especially food. Sushi's up here.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. I'm doing Subway.
I'm getting sushi. I think Zerpting's lack of taste for fish just comes with him being young still, you know? Zerp is a character for sure.
I've been on United for about like 3-4 months now.
Oh, whoa, there's a bee here, brothers.
Why are you so scared of bees, Zer?
What do you mean? Oh, whoa.
Chill, no it's not.
Hello?
I used to look up to people who are on my team right now. I used to like watch them on YouTube, like just like imagine playing with them, and now I am. I went pro this year.
When our team was in like a very bad state of mind, it's like Zerp can kick rocks.
Zerp can go kick rocks.
As you see, he's kicking these beautiful Cali rocks.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to Lava and Spencer. They've been some pretty good teammates and good friends lately.
You guys have traveled here, but you haven't gone for Gears yet. Where'd you go?
Chad.
Chad.
What? That's in Africa.
Yeah?
It's pretty good, the vibes are good, everything is pretty good.
Like, of course, we joke around, we take jabs at each other, as guys do. Yeah, you're actually a sped.
You got wet.
There's water in there, boy. At what point did you know that you fucked up? Like, I don't understand. Like, you just forgot there was water in there?
But like, no one's like, have no like beef with anyone on the team. It's pretty just like nice and solid vibes.
So the transition from Envy to Echo Fox, it's, you know, we've been welcomed with, you know, open arms.
We wanted to play with Kyle, so we contacted him like, hey, would you like to join Team Envious or whatnot? And then he gave us the reasoning. He had like ties with Echo Fox, and like we understood that. And we sat down, we thought about it. I was like, oh, why don't we just go to Echo Fox? And then that's when we went into discussion.
Going into Vegas, you know, we knew we wanted a roster change because obviously this season, you know, we've underperformed.
The thing with Ribs, there were situations where it was unaffordable for him to die. If somebody dies because they're out of position, and then we gotta go work backwards to get that kill that killed our teammate, like it's not good.
Like in the grand finals, that's all I played was against Ribs, and we played like the same spots. Most of the gunfights were against him, and I won like majority of them. So I can see like his team blaming like a lot of the like rounds on him.
At some point, you want to switch it up. You see a lot of Gears teams switch it up if they feel they're not good enough to beat Optic or whoever the top team will be. Well, I think they did it because they want to try to keep it fresh. They want to give themselves more motivation. They want to tell themselves that with this change, they're better. They want to prove to themselves that with this change, they're going to be better. So, it makes all of them play a little bit harder. And a lot of Gears teams go through this. We call it the honeymoon phase. When you pick up a new player, 2 new players, no matter what it may be, everyone wants to play their role. Everyone wants to play as good as they can to prove to themselves and each other that team's good enough to win. And so they switched orgs altogether and left me without a team. When I talk to them, it's the same as basically saying you're getting dropped. It sucks to say this, but once they had it in their minds that maybe I was the reason why we were losing, or if someone could replace my spot, it kind of takes away from everything we do at this point. You lose a little bit of trust. When you get on to practice, you don't practice as hard. You don't learn as much. So that was an anchor holding us back right off the bat, and it's like an unspoken thing, But aside from that, we would have needed to play more, practice more, play with more intensity.
Going into that finals in Vegas, Mental said in his interview, he was asked, what is the difference between you guys and Envy? And his answer was Summons versus Ribs. Just him saying that, it kind of, it was obvious, because we could tell in game, but I feel like that's another level of confidence where for a fact your teammate's gonna beat up that guy on the other side. And you're gonna play him confidently every single time.
We talked about, picking up Kyle, and we wanted him really bad, and now we got him.
I understand why they made the change. Kyle's a great player, and now they have a little bit of extra oomph because they know they need to win, and they in their heads they have a reason why they should win now. We're all still good friends. I understand why they do it. It sucks being the scapegoat or whatever you want to call it, but I think I'll be okay.
What the hell is that?
You guys take it easy. Have a good night.
Have a great one.
Thank you.
Is that out? Is that like
this guy? Yo, he has no pride. You have no pride, bro.
Is that cotton candy?
Why is that so big, bro?
Yo, let me get some. Ryan!
I feel out of place because I'm not 21. So I'm just sitting here watching everybody drink, and I'm just like, where's the apple juice?
Before Mexico, they asked me to possibly play with them, and then they won the event. And then after that, we didn't talk for months. And then, they went on a decline, and then that's when we started talking again.
The moment that we felt Kyle was a missing piece was, I don't want to say right after Vegas. It was after Vegas, but not right after. We had went through like a whole list of people that we were gonna pick up in one night. We went down the list and talked about like pros and cons of each player. And then once we got down to that final 3, it was Kyle and 2 others.
They asked me to join Envy. That's when I was like, kind of like, I don't know, like I think you guys should join here.
He was very tied to Echo Fox, we would say, and he wouldn't want to leave them.
He considers this home. Obviously, they did amazing things for him. They do amazing things for all their players, but what they did for him was incredible.
Yeah, it was just my mom. Like waking up every day and seeing her jersey, Echo Fox jersey, it says Mama Kyle on it.
His mom was very active in the community, which is awesome. We always admired how much she supported Kyle in his career and his dreams. Obviously, when she passed, it was like devastating, obviously to Kyle, but to the community as well. Right? We all felt like we lost a member of our community.
I feel extremely happy that they're on the team, and they need help. They need someone on the opposite side of the map. So Fran is over here calling stuff. They need someone that can direct the other team on the other side of the map, and that's what I bring. I'm like the co-leaders, so I'm very happy and I'm confident that we're gonna win multiple times, not just one. I know we can sweep Optic, but I got the most respect for them. Those are my very good friends. 4 of them came to my mom's funeral out of nowhere. I never asked them. They showed up.
I think one of the things that makes our team so good is the fact that we have a real friendship inside the game and outside of the game. My 3 of my players came out to Anaheim to just hang out and have like a vacation to get away together and like friends do.
I feel like an older brother to Zerp, and Glava's just like my duo. He's like just my brother. He's like my man, my right-hand man,
Yeah, I 100% think having this bond with my teammates and this chemistry gives us an advantage, because I know for a fact being like in good standing with your teammates and having that chemistry and vibing well together is literally like how you win championships. And that's what when I got dropped, one of the things Kenny told me like was, if you bounce back from this and like if you come back and you win or you beat us, like it's not like we're gonna resent you, like we'll be happy for you. So I feel like that's partially true. Like they would probably be happy for me, I would think, would hope. But at the end of the day, like we're all supportive and positive around each other, especially when we're scrimming and all that. And that's really important, especially to me.
With the team that he has now, the current United, you know, he's out of his shell. He's gonna be himself again.
I was on a boat when I was shark fishing.
You ever catch a shark?
Yeah.
You caught a shark?
Yeah, well, you catch baby sharks, they're probably like this big.
I think it's just a comfortability. I think once he's comfortable again, he will be back to being a top-tier player.
Trying to rebuild now. I feel like we're trying to pull ourselves out of the trenches, but I feel like we'll get the job done. You know, we're a very resilient team. Like, nothing's impossible.
So, like, outside of the game, we're all good friends. Inside of the game, we all have respect for each other.
Meeting people like Rick and Jace, you're thinking like, dang, like I really made it. Like,
you know, season 2, we're coming out swinging, yo.
That's what I like to hear.
That hurt. So I think with our new roster, like the game already has been a lot of fun. Like whether we win or lose, like we walk away always learning something with a positive outlook.
We have to figure out, and soon, who we want to do for a 5th.
Well, Belly.
Wow.
Ton going on in that episode, and I'm not just talking about Echo Fox hanging around. What did you think? What were your first thoughts? Give me
All right, first thoughts, like Kyle said, it's going to be a war. Listen, season 2 is going to be serious, okay? With, you know, the new look of Echo Fox, United. I'm going to call it their resurgence. They're coming back up. We have a new duo on the scene with Lava and Dispensa. It's going to be exciting. I feel like season 2, the competition, it's definitely risen. It's going to be way more competitive than season 1. And I can't wait.
People are out for blood. I can tell that right now.
They're serious. They're about that life.
It's a nice little bullseye on the back of Optic. Hey, speaking of, I want to welcome Ashes from Optic Gaming to the show. First of all, thanks so much for being here, Nick.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Hey, there he is, coming to us from remotely in South Carolina. So thanks so much for being here.
Yeah.
I mean, let's start with the elephant in the room. You guys have a bullseye on your head from season 1.
Oh yeah.
And you know, just being awesome in general. We noticed a lot that you guys were particularly chill in that episode, while there's a lot of other people doing a lot of grinding, really going for it. What are you guys overly confident? Would you say, or are you gonna? You know, just feeling pretty good about your place.
Why are you so relaxed?
Yeah.
Why would we be relaxed after winning so many events? I don't know. It's just we're just kind of at that point where we're confident in ourselves. We're confident in each other. So it makes sense to give yourself a little pat on the back, have a little break, enjoy life, and enjoy the fact that we did well season 1.
All right. So roster mania happened. You guys essentially kept the same roster. Do you see any big competition coming your way at all? Who's your biggest threat right now?
I would say Echo Fox is always going to be up there as one of our biggest threats. United's new roster is looking pretty good. We've scrimmed them a few times, and now that they have more leadership and things that they talked about they were missing in this episode, you can definitely tell it's helping their team atmosphere. Other than that, I think those are the main 2 right now.
All right, what do you think makes a strong team outside of the game?
Outside of the game, you really have to be friends. If you're not friends outside of the game, you're not going to have that same cohesion. You're not going to have that same trust for each other inside the game. So it's really important to just, have similar interests, to be friends, to be able to want to hang out with each other. Like when practice ends and nobody wants to hang out with each other or just casually game together, you don't have that same team bonding that a lot of the top teams do.
Speaking of team bonding, we saw United going on a little hike together and whatnot. I mean, that was pretty cute. But what do you think about United and Echo Fox's team dynamics in game?
I think Echo Fox is kind of that team that you expect to play by the book. They're very organized. Their strategies are on point, and they're that team. I mean, they have good leadership and franchise. So like they're that team that they have slaying power, but they also have organization. So that makes them a really big threat. It's just you have to be able to identify their weaknesses and exploit those. Same thing for E United now. Like with the new E United roster, you have Wildebeest on there, who's a seasoned veteran of Gears of War. He's giving them good leadership, and you've got a lot of strong slaying talent. So they're going to have very similar dynamics, and I think once E United kind of gets together, it's going to be a close race for the top three.
Speaking of strong slaying talent, which beautifully poetic, let's talk a little bit about Kyle playing for Echo Fox.
Ooh.
Yeah, you could definitely tell something was going to happen after the end of season 1. I mean, just like they pointed out in this episode, Mental said in his interview, the main difference is summons versus ribs. And it's something we were confident about. We knew having Alex match up against Ribs was going to be a win for us. Ribs is a talented player, but Alex is just better. And so the change makes sense. I don't think it fixes all of the problems that they had, but it definitely will help revitalize that team, and maybe they'll take a closer look at what their problems are to become stronger in Season 2.
So without a doubt, Echo Fox, they're the favorites to be the second best team again. You guys look forward to playing them in the finals. But what about E United? Do you see them as a big threat?
I could see E United, being up there as well. I think, obviously it's going to come down to the tournament and the timing and who's on that day. But as of right now, I think that E United shows a ton of potential, and I think that Echo Fox, even though they're better than they were, they're still struggling with some of the same issues. So I think it'll be really interesting when it comes like crunch time, when it comes time to be on that championship Sunday. Who's going to be the one who performs better than the other?
Okay, so I alluded to at the beginning of our interview here that you guys obviously have had a nice bullseye on your back. How much pressure does that put on you? I know we joked about the chillaxing you were doing during that episode, but how much pressure do you feel, not just from the Gears community, but from Optic as an org? I mean, you guys are pretty much, Optic is, you're with the green wall. My gosh.
Optic.
Yeah.
It's Optic. Yeah, that's all we got to say. How does that feel? What are you thinking?
Oh, being an Optic is great. I mean, you would think there's a lot of pressure that comes with the prestige of Optic, but the organization's so supportive, the green wall, the fan base is so supportive. It's just an incredible feeling. But we've always kind of had that target on our backs. Even in the last game, in Gears of War Ultimate Edition, we were that team of young guns who people didn't want to see us doing as well as we did. They wanted to see the veterans winning. They wanted to see Fury or Envy or now Echo Fox winning. And when we were winning, it was causing some upsets. And then we kind of showed it was consistent, and more people got upset. And now people are upset that it's always us. So we're kind of used to having that target on the back, like being the tier that people want to surpass. We just got to keep working hard to make sure that never happens.
So Red Icy is suspended, okay? Red Icy is arguably one of the best players in the game. I mean, I love him. I love him to death. You guys now have a sub. With that target on your back, do you guys still feel confident going into this event?
We do. We haven't officially decided or set in stone who our sub's going to be. We've been scrimming a lot with Shock, who's been performing extremely well. Obviously, it's showcasing some of our flaws that we need to work on. But, I mean, once we iron those things out, I think we'll still be a strong team. Maybe not quite as strong as we are with Icy being one of the best players in the game that he is, but we'll still be a strong team. We'll still put up a fight. We'll still be in the grand finals.
Hey, actually, I've got a viewer question here. What's Mikey is his tag here, and he's asking actually what keeps your drive going for your team. This is actually something similar to what we've sort of been tiptoeing around, which is after becoming the best, what makes you keep striving to be better than the best when you're beating yourself? What keeps you striving?
I think there's a lot of parts that go into that. I think part of that relies on me. It's my job to keep the guys motivated. It's my job to make sure that our practices are going effectively. But I also have a team of 5 people who all hate losing more than they like winning. And that taste of losing that we got in Mexico,
like they will never forget that. They know how much that sucks. They don't even like losing wagers or small like game battles tournaments online. They just don't like losing. So having 5 highly competitive individuals to make up this team makes my job of making sure they stay hungry a lot easier.
Interesting. Well, it's always interesting to hear from the top of the pack here, but I guess at the end of the day, you know, we're talking about another rivalry here. I don't know if you want to delve into the.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So Optic, you guys go to the finals every event, right? It's nothing. It's easy, right?
We know what's happening.
Okay, right. So you guys been playing against then Envy, now Echo Fox, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Dig into that rivalry, man. Why do you guys love it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it always brings entertaining matches. They bring out the best in us. We bring out the best in them. Whenever we play each other, whether it be an event finals, a scrimmage, an online tournament, it doesn't matter. We're going to bring out the best in each other. We're both going to put in a full effort. And I think that makes it entertaining. I think it makes it more fun for my guys. My guys much rather be challenged. And I'm sure Echo Fox feels the same way. We much rather feel challenged and play hard than just kind of casually play teams that we know we can beat. So playing Echo Fox is exciting, as much as I know the rivalry kind of gets stale when it's always these two teams in the grand finals. But for us, it's the best matches we ever play.
I was going to say, you have a follow-up, otherwise I've got another viewer question.
One follow-up.
Yeah.
You guys hate losing. Who rages the most on your team?
Oh, Lord.
Gilbert cracks
the normal
me up.
roster, Gilbert will he'll start raging, and then he'll start getting mad at himself, which will make him rage at others more. Other than that, it's Icy. Icy is hysterical because he'll just scream nonsense into the microphone. He'll die and scream nonsense and then scream, "I spawned in 16." Because he knows he needs to keep calling out. It's the funniest thing I've ever worked with.
Well, that makes good TV.
Oh, yeah.
So here's another viewer question for you. This is from Smell Smoker 13. I just love that I get to say that name out loud. But actually, he's got a great question, which I know some people that are newer to the esports scene, I think, would also ask, and even if you didn't, which is, how are you so good at this, and do you train often? Let's give us a sort of we got to see behind the curtain a bit with the episodes. Give us a little bit of day in the life of, you on Optic.
Do you train, bro?
Yeah, do you even lift? So we practice 5 days a week. We kind of set up a schedule that we practice 5 days a week. We have Wednesdays are usually 2K finals, but we kind of consider it a day off because we only play that and then we're done. We have Fridays off, and the rest of the days we scrim pretty much from 7 p.m. Eastern time until midnight, 1 a.m. Eastern time. So usually there's 3 scrim blocks against other top teams in that time. And that's the practice we have. Sundays are usually 2K days when the 2Ks are going on. And then whatever other online tournaments are taking place, we'll try to participate in those. But that's really, staying consistent with your practice. If somebody needs a day off, obviously, stuff happens. But it's important to us to keep grinding and to stay on top of it. So we still practice as much as we can and try to be as prepared as we can. And then my job is to make sure that the practices are effective.
That was beautiful. Okay, words of wisdom. Before we close with you, just advice to the chat. You guys talked about practicing a lot and whatnot. Nobody starts playing and gets to the top. What's your advice to, players that are aspiring to be the best or pro?
Aspiring pro players, I would say one of the biggest things you guys should work on is making sure that your practices are effective. Don't just get on and play the game and go through the routine, because that's not going to help anyone. Don't rely on muscle memory. Go back and watch your replays. Go back and be critical of yourself. If you don't have a coach, make sure that you're analyzing your own footage and pointing out mistakes. Be harsh on yourselves. And don't get an ego when you don't deserve it. Just be humble. Practice hard, and everybody has to go through that grind. So if you stick to it, one day you'll get there.
Excellent. Well, Ashes, Nick, thank you so much for being on and for giving our viewers some very valuable little tidbits into not just the life of an esports player, but Optic specifically. Thanks so much.
No, thank you. Congratulations, Belly.
Thank you, man. I'm trying, man.
He's doing a great job. Okay, have a good time on vacation. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. What a delightful young man. That's what my mother
all
would
right.
say. She would say, but and it's an interesting thing also to not have. You know what? He made a really good point. He talked about not having an ego, and I'll
Right.
tell you something. If there is a person that can have an ego, it would be Optic.
No, they deserve it, but they're so humble. I mean, you see Mental and Explosives, best 2 players in the game. They never throw that above anyone's heads. And they're so humble. I love it. One thing that he touched on,
Sure.
you know, you don't get on expecting to be the best, you know? Actually look at why you're losing and
Yeah.
get better.
Now, one of the things from the chat I saw, and apologies I didn't get your gamer tag. There's a lot going on, which is that they they wanted to know, do you actually go and rewatch game tapes? You know, how much time do you take to go on, outside of your online tournaments, outside of
Right.
your scrims? What do you do? And it sounds like these guys came to play.
Do you rewatch game footage? I mean, if you want to be good.
Excellent. Well, we are just getting in our ears now that Kyle of Kyle.
Yes.
Kyle! Excellent. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm using my phone to all the viewers, but I'm in Texas right now, actually, with the Optic members, helping them move in. So interesting, right?
Don't worry, I love the phone quality. You're beautiful. You're doing fine,
It's
sweetie.
Kyle
All
Cam.
Exactly.
So yeah, actually, well, you know what we just talked. I was just gonna jump in here real
Right.
quick. Well, Billy and I'll tag team here, but we just talked to Ashes about Optic's choice of off-season activities. What do you think about them? Did you get a chance to see the episode? What do you think Optic has the right to be relaxed as they are?
They just chilling.
Yeah, I watched it. You know, I like what Asher said. It's all about team chemistry, and he's definitely right about that. You know, I like what they were doing on their off season. You know, like playing like go karting and like tag team, like laser, whatever they were doing. But yeah, he's right. It's all competitive is about competitive gaming is like having like the best chemistry, and I think they do have the right to be relaxed. You know, they won a lot of tournaments, but I mean, I don't think they should be relaxed. You know, I feel like once you get content, that's when you lose. So I mean, hopefully they're not relaxed.
Okay, so Kyle, you did something recently that made me jealous. I'm a Lakers fan. I love Rick Fox. This episode showed one of the first times you're able to just hang out and relax with your new teammates outside of events, and you saw Rick Fox. What was that like?
Yeah. My man Ricky, he's tall. So like he entered the door. Like I don't know, I was just like looking up to the heavens when I saw him, and like it was crazy. He's just tall, big man, and like he has amazing energy towards him, and he has a good mindset, and I'm proud to say that that's my boss.
All right, so Season 1, we saw NV go against Optic 5 times in the tournament finals. And now that you guys are Echo Fox and you're on the team, what can we expect from Season 2, man? Are you going to make the finals?
Oh, yeah, we're going to make the finals multiple times.
Multiple?
I'm a confident person. Yeah, like I think that us and Optic are going to be in the finals every event. I don't think there's going to be one event that we're not. And I feel like I'm a very motivating person when I get in that competitive mindset. And I feel like Icy and Gilbert are like the same thing. They motivate their teams just like me and Praise and all of our other teammates motivate each other. So I feel like since they have Icy and Gilbert, and since this team, since I have a lot to give, from my mom and stuff, I'm going to give it my all every tournament. So we're not going to slack. So I feel like both teams are going to be in the finals every event.
I like that. Well, and I actually got a quick viewer question here from Coach Suda. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. So what team are you guys most concerned with after the recent roster change? I think you may have already answered it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think we're concerned about any team. I just feel like, there's one team that we have to beat. I don't know if we're really concerned, but we're just more focused on ourselves. I feel like once you are obsessed with your competition, I feel like that's when you tend to like overthink things. So all we got to do is just focus on ourselves. We don't obviously we look at Optic, but we can't like obsess about them and what they do. We got to focus on what we do best.
Definitely. Now, since the episode filmed, your team went back to LA for an Echo Fox event. Can you tell us about the event and what you did at it?
Okay, so pretty much it's called FoxCon, and so Rick Fox and all the staff members pretty much flew everybody out, all the players, to Los Angeles. And it was just to meet each other. You know, the Gears of War people met the Call of Duty people, and then we met the fighting game community, H1Z1 players, League of Legends. So it was pretty much a big get together for the organization. So all the staff members, the photographers, the graphics makers, the professional players, everybody just got to meet each other. So it was a pretty fun experience.
Okay. So this episode, you actually shared a really personal experience that happened with you. I never got the chance to meet her, but she was an amazing person. I loved her on Twitter. She was a 49er fan. There we go.
Yeah.
Why did you feel so comfortable about opening up with that experience to the Gears of War community?
It's just like my mom is like a person that loves to share her story. She's a very outgoing person, and that's something that, you know, I try to take from her. I used to be more of like a quiet person, but, you know, she taught me that opening up to people and sharing your story isn't that bad. And so when she passed away, I kind of just, you know, since she's involved with the Gears of War community, I decided to, you know, open that chapter of my life up to everybody, because I feel like that's what she would have done if it was the roles have switched. You know, if I passed away, she would have did what I'm doing now and just carried on my memory and shared it with thousands of people. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I actually think she was dope because once Mama Kyle was in the community, I mean, look where she started. We see Mama Solars. You see Mama Zerp. Now, shout out to all the moms out there. I think it's beautiful that these moms are supporting their sons flying, you know, across the country, outside of the country. It's amazing.
Yeah. I saw that. Mama Zerp went to Paris, I think.
Mama Zerp, I love her to death. These moms are amazing. When it comes to, you know, these moms supporting these pro players and just their children in general. I mean, how do you feel about that, man?
I love it, you know, just because obviously my story, so it makes me happy. And it makes me happy that they all support me too, because, you know, they know what happened to me, so they call me up or they'll direct message me, and I feel like they kind of use that as motivation to do what my mom did, you know, to carry on the legacy, because I feel like my mom was like one of the first moms to, you know, tweet a lot on Twitter, and so now they start to do it. So you got Mama Zerp, you got Mama Brian, which is Solar's mom, you got Mama Craze that's on Twitter from Epsilon, and you know, Dirty One's a mom too, so we can't forget about that. So all the moms are just showing love, so I like it.
Well, and they love Veli.
Oh yeah, I love the mamas
Yeah.
too.
Well, you know, actually,
yeah, they do love Veli.
I was gonna say, so you make an interesting point, and that is one of the differentiators, I think, between the Gears Esports community and a lot of other esports communities, which is the support you get both on and off the field, as you might say. And I'm more curious if you think that the Gears Esports community is different, and how.
Yeah, we're way different from other communities. I feel like I don't know. I feel like we just got this tight bond. Like Gears of War has this thing where, like, back in the day we would always fight each other, and I feel like, you know how they say, like, when brothers fight they get closer, and I feel like that's kind of what happened to us. You know, Veli was from that time, so he understands. we had a lot of arguments, a lot of fights, and now we're just brothers. We're family. And, you know, even though Optic is my competitors and that's the team I want to beat, you know, not only for me, but for my teammates, for my mom, you got to separate the two. You got to separate competition and real life. And so that's why I'm here in Texas. I'm helping my friends move in. You know, even though those are my competitors, I got to separate the two, you know. So, like, at the end of the day, those are my friends. I love Billy, but I don't like mental. You know, I love Gilbert, but explosives can kick rocks. Like, so that's, you know, that's kind of how it is. I just feel like we just got this tight bond.
Oh, I was going to say, tight enough to help. Here's the thing. Here's how you know your friends. I don't care if it's esports or you know, just regular life.
Right.
You are helping them move.
Oh, that's real.
I know.
That right there. Like, come on.
Yeah, and I'm playing impressed. I'm playing on their internet, which is amazing too.
Oh my gosh.
Not even comparable to what I have back at home. So that's a plus as well.
Mental on a good connection, man. I'm kind of scared and I don't even play. All right. No, but speaking about family, man, there's something I wanted to touch on. You know, there's a topic I wanted to touch on with you. So, family, your team, your Echo Fox team, season 1. You guys were a team for basically the whole year, right?
Yeah.
You had to make, you know, the big boy decision to move on from them.
Yeah.
At what point does it come to you making a decision of moving on from your teammates and actually, roughing it out as a team and getting better?
Well, for us, like, we gave the team 4 events, and I feel like it's all about what you want to do in your competitive career. So if you just want to play with your friends and not win and, just have fun and have the chemistry, then do that. I mean, you're still going to make money. You can still place 4th. You can still place 3rd or 2nd. But if you're not, for me, it's all about winning. And so I love those guys to death, and I feel like that's why I stuck with them even longer, is because we had so much good chemistry. But there was one thing, and we just weren't winning. We weren't performing against the top teams as like against Ghost or the old NV squad or Optic. And so for me, it's like I wanted to stick with them so bad, but we weren't showing progression. So, I think it's all about winning. So we just weren't winning, and that's when I had to, separate from them. And it sucked and it's sad, but I can say now that we're all still good friends and we still talk. So, it's still a plus. They're still my brothers. And I'm never going to forget what they went through with me, with my mom, because they were there and they're the first people I told. So those are still my brothers, and I wish nothing but the best for them. If they somehow win an event with all their, because they're all on separate teams. If one of them win an event, I'm going to be the first to give them a hug. So, I feel bad for what I did, but at the same time, I know that we gave it 4 events and we just weren't performing. So
you keep talking about winning. So, can we be real with each other real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
You play against Optic tomorrow. Your brand new team. Who's gonna win?
We play against Optic tomorrow?
I'm saying if you do play against Optic tomorrow.
I like that you're like, what? You just play in the bonus room, and the others will play in their media room.
If there was an event tomorrow and you played Optic for the bread, $1 million.
And make sure to say it out loud so they can hear.
You gonna sweep them?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
We would win. Just because right now, yeah, well, they're playing with a sub, so I feel like they're at a disadvantage, and I know we would win. Right now, we're still like working out our flaws and stuff, but they are too. And if you watch scrims, they're a great team, but they're not really clicking with Alec Shock like they do with Icy. So right now they're still good, but they're still going through like a little rut, and I don't blame them. They have a sub, and they didn't want to drop Icy, but they had to drop him for one event. So I feel like right now, if we were to play tomorrow, we would win just because of that reason.
All right.
Well, I guess there's a weak, not I was about to say weak link in the chain, and that's kind of,
Yeah,
anyway,
chemistry means the world, like we were talking about. Of course they have chemistry with Alec, but it's nothing like Icy. So, and the chemistry, that me and Echo Fox has is crazy already. We already seen each other twice in Los Angeles and hung out for weeks. So I feel like our chemistry would put us atop, but since they don't really have much with Alec like they do with Icy.
All right.
Okay. Well, actually, I do have one more question.
Go ahead.
Now that we're so, your team now, Echo Fox. I'm just curious. You were talking about a couple weeks here and there, and that's awesome, which is great. But you're over in green wall territory at the moment. Do your current your current teammates, do they ask you sort of the inside scoop from your Optic friends?
The intel?
Oh, like
are you a double agent is what I'm trying to get to.
No. I don't pay attention to what they're doing. I was every time they scrim, we scrim. So there was a funny moment though, like when we were scrimming each other in the same house. And I hear the call outs and stuff, so that was funny. Like Gilbert would die, and since they're the leader, I would hear what he was saying. I knew what they were doing, so that was kind of funny. And then one time we were holding a 2-cap setup, and so the game was stalemated in a way, nothing was moving. And then Billy got this Nerf gun and shot my TV screen. I jumped. I don't know. We don't really pay attention to each other what we do. We kind of just they kind of just joke around with me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
all right.
Excellent. I'm psyched, and I know Veli is too. And thank you so much, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We love you,
shout
Kyle.
Out to Veli.
Yeah, man.
On the stage, Veli. Veli made it.
We're out here.
Say you made it from the bottom.
For the love of Gears.
Say hashtag Veli made it. Let's start trending that.
Shout out to On the Flank.
Yes.
There it is. That's the good. There it is. See, that's the shout out we were looking for. Kyle, thank you so much. Go and enjoy that Texas weather.
All right, light skin.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Okay.
That was
Whew.
fun.
You gotta love the insider baseball. You gotta
yeah.
love that, and I love and we keep talking about the esports community being so tight knit. Is that?
yeah.
I mean, from your perspective, is that what makes it great?
I mean, we're family. We're really rough towards each other, but I mean, it's tough love. We're brothers. I love it. I might not like most of you guys, but we're still brothers. You
Brothers
know?
and Lancers.
Exactly. There we go.
Anyway, well, thank you for watching episode 3. Next week, make sure to tune in to the finale, the final episode of Gears Esports Offseason, where Veli and I will be talking to Ryan from Echo Fox and Summons from Optic Gaming.
Kate, thanks for letting me host with you. Shout out to Jack Felon. We love you.
Yeah.
I'm really hyped about next week. I can't wait.
Dude, I'm super psyched. This is excellent. We never, we need somebody in that chair, and that somebody is you.
I'm
Brown
blushing.
eyes, I'm telling you right now.
You ever seen a brown guy turn pink before?
I
I'm
think
blushing.
that's what I'm looking at right
There we
now.
go.
Well, if you missed this episode or episode 1 and 2 of the show, don't you worry. You can head on over to the Gears of War YouTube channel and also search Mixer Channel 1 for more of the live Q&As. I also host our Mixer exclusive show, This Week in Esports, with my co-host Ricari Austin every Thursday. That's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific right here on Mixer.com/Channel 1. So be sure to tune into that tomorrow. And if you missed any of today's episode, we'll be showing a rebroadcast starting at 9 a.m. Pacific on Mixer Channel 1 for Esports Weekend.
Yeah,
Hashtag
man.
it. We only show esports content on the weekends on this channel, so I hope you tune in this weekend and not just help support, but have a little fun. Also, something else to remember, episode 3 is going to be on the Gears of War YouTube channel, so make sure you find yourself over there. So, Veli,
Yes.
I'm going to let you go ahead and sign off for it now.
All right. Well, listen, if you guys weren't dedicated and joined the stream late, go to the YouTube, check it out, and
Also, check out
on the flank. You can check me out on Twitter at VeliVale. And shout out to my man Nunez. We love you.
Excellent. Awesome.
All right.
Well, there you go. Veli, take us out.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. We're signing off for now.